Guru Stu with Sandia Computers joins us once again. It's Wednesday morning. Always good to see you.
Always wonderful to see you, Marianne. We got a big thing we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
We're going to talk about maintenance on your computer and how and what and why and where and whatever.
Sure.
So what we're going to talk about is stuff. Lots of stuff.
It's important though, because just like we are so good about taking care of our vehicles,
right?
If we don't take care of our vehicles, we don't take care of our home, of course they're not going to take care of us, right?
Exactly.
So same goes with our computer equipment.
Exactly. And of course you've got a lot more sensitive data than you think on your computer, such as your photos maybe, and music and documents and whatever. And if your computer isn't kept in top-notch running order. Now, a lot of people out there are still using computers that are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old.
And it's still running?
Well, they're still running, and they're running Windows XP, and they're very happy, and,
Sure.
and that sort of thing. We even have customers coming in that have been running DOS and still been running DOS since 1983.
Wow.
But there are main things that you have to keep in mind when you're doing a laptop or you're doing a desktop computer on how to keep it running good. So I brought a few items here, just kind of go over real quick, okay? One of the things that is the worst enemy that we've got with any computer, whether it be desktop or laptop, is heat. Heat is our worst enemy. And so if you have a computer that's slightly older, you know, what you may want to do is you may want to talk about changing out the different kinds of fans that you have in your computer. You got a big 120 millimeter case fan right there, Marianne. And what these do is, this is a fan that goes in a laptop to keep it nice and cool, and this is a fan that goes on your processor, and that's a fan that goes on the back of your case. If you have these fans and you had it on there for quite a while, dust, dirt, crud, whatever you want to call it, gets inside these moving fans and causes them not to function properly.
So what are some signs that they're failing?
Well, grinding. You put your hand back there and there's no air being moved.
Okay.
You know, that sort of thing. And one other thing that you might notice is your computer may be running extremely hot. And when it starts running really hot, you put your hand on it, it almost burns you.
Yes.
Now, for those of you out there with an Apple, this particular computer, like for example, does not have a cooling fan in it. There's no vents on it. So what happens is it's just going to run hot no matter what until it fails. Heat causes bulging capacitors. If you want to lift up that video card that we got, Marianne,
okay, it's right
you can
here.
kind of, we got bunches of stuff here. And so what that has is, this is a normal capacitor, nice and flat and beautiful and gorgeous. And these are capacitors that are leaking, bulging, that sort of thing. Causes irregularities in the power on your computer. Same thing on a motherboard. You might find these kind of things on there. So a good visual inspection, or if you don't feel comfortable opening up your computer, feel free to bring it into Sandia Computers, and we'll check it for that sort of stuff, you know, free of charge.
That's
so you don't
great.
have to worry about that. But if you get bulging capacitors on there, you're writing data kind of cockeyed to your hard drive, your machine starts running slow, it starts to reboot for no reason at all, you know, and that sort of thing. So if you see these symptoms, you kind of got a good idea to bring it by the store and check that out.
That's nice. You could do it for free.
Hard drives. When you start seeing your computer running really slow, you may have a failing hard drive. And when you listen carefully to your computer and you start hearing a click, 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 it's a good possibility you've got a failing drive. Well, you may only have one shot at getting the data off of it. So that's another thing that you may want to do, is when you start seeing that. Laptops, replacing your batteries after a while, you might want to do that. Keyboards, especially keyboards that you use on your desk and keyboards on your laptop. You know, these things are actually dirtier and have more germs on them than a public restroom.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because think about it. When was the last time you may have dusted it off or wiped it off?
And of course, crackers and all that stuff in there. So a good idea. If you find out that you're having a problem, your keyboards are sticking, that sort of thing, you might want to get that checked out. I've seen surge protectors go bad on customers' machines. Remember, we have the worst power sometimes here in New Mexico. Power spikes, brownouts, surges, that sort of thing. Well, your surge protector may have given up, you know, what it's for, and you don't know it until the next power surge, and then you're big in trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
Mouses, a good time to change and go getting a new mouse would be a good time when you're doing your cleaning. And a lot of this, folks, I do a lot of this on people's computers that are customers of ours, usually every 3 years. You know, we like to do an inspection, make sure everything is working right. because at 3 years, that's 18 years old in computer years.
Oh,
okay,
really?
It's working. You don't have to go out and buy a new one, but you
Right.
may want to make sure it's running good.
Sure, because we take the time to spring clean our home, we do all this other stuff, but you know what? We put so much money into our equipment here, we have to take care of it for it to
And so for like
function.
$30, $40, you got
It's
your
worth
machine up
it.
and safe.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, so Sandia Computers, maintain all your equipment with them. Thank you. We'll see you again next week, okay, Guru Stu?
Thank you, Marianne.
Sandia Computers is located at 3625 Wyoming Boulevard. The phone number there is 332-7777. And don't miss out, Guru Stu's on Kiva 1550 AM. That's Saturday morning from 9 to 10.